Hi guys, it's me, T-townMaryEllen. How's everybody doing tonight? I wanted to go live tonight because I received a package from Little Oz Lorel, and I wanted to show everyone how cool it is. It's Disney, and she got it in, okay, wait a minute. I gotta bring up chat. I always do this. I do this every time. Sorry, guys. I gotta bring up my YouTube. Okay. Oops. I keep getting rid of me. Okay, I'm gonna do it the easy way and do it on my phone. Oops. Okay. Hi, Dave. Get rid of me. Okay, I'm gonna do it the easy way. Okay. Do it on my phone. Well, got a little gift from Hi, Dave. Little Oz Lorel, and I wanted to show everyone how cool it is. Oh gosh, keep doing that. All right. I heard that you had a great stream the other night, Dave. You got Josh and all of the people came into your chat. That's awesome. There's Little Oz Lorel. We were going to live stream together, but she has other things going on, so we weren't able. Hi, Works Hard. How are you? It's so fun to see you guys. Okay, so let me show you what Lorel sent me. Oh, I know. I've been meaning to go back to see the replay, and I haven't yet because I want to see your expression on everyone buying your stream. That's awesome. Hey, Nance. I'm sorry I keep looking down, but I hate it. You know, Dave, when you are trying to look at the chat, but then it's hidden, and so I got to bring it back up, and I'm just looking at my phone instead. You all know each other. Nancy Dooley is my sister, but there's Dave and Worked Hard and Little Oz Lorel. Okay, so this is what I received in the mail from Lorel. Okay, and she could explain this better, but in Australia, they have these promotions, and this one was at Woolworths, right, Lorel? And so she would go in and you buy stuff, and then you collect all these Disney, okay, wait a minute, let me pop a couple out so you can see them. And now they're going all over the floor. Okay, so like it has a letter on the back, but on the other side is a Disney character. Like that one's Abu, and that one's Kristoff. So then she would pop them into their normal spot, and she collected all of them but two on mine, and hers got totally full. So if you could see that one has Woody and Buzz, Minnie and Mickey, and Hey. Yeah, it's kind of like a Scrabble piece, but it creates, but it's Disney characters that you collect, and you complete the collections. And she sent me an extra collection that she had put together, and it's just the coolest. We don't do anything like this in the States. So she almost got it totally full. And here's the back of it. It's called Disney Words. And then you're right, Dave, it's like Scrabble. I know, it's very cool. So thank you again, Lorel. It's an awesome collection we'll keep forever. It's just it's hard to appreciate how cool it really is because it keeps glowing on the camera. But all these characters that she collected, and the competition's over. And what did you say, Lorel? You said that online, if somebody completed the whole collection, it was worth like $1,300 on eBay or something like that. She was telling me that people were doing the whole collection and then they were selling them on eBay for like $1,300. But yes, it's so cool. And I just wanted to pop on also. I hope soon, Leanne. Okay, Lorel said it was designed in America, made in China, bought in Australia, and back home to America. Yes, it was very sweet. Works hard. My sister's telling me that my other sister is watching, but she can't get in. She forgot her password. Yes, it's like a big Scrabble. Kind of like McDonald's when they do their Scrabble thing, but this is way cooler because it's Disney. So McDonald's, pay attention. This would be a very cool game to play. A different kind of Scrabble game. Yeah, it's funny how that works. It's not the same as works hard, but it's funny how that works. So anyway, I was going to tell you that Leanne and I are going to go live, I hope, in the next couple of weeks. And we've got a couple of cool places that we want to go in Oklahoma. And that will be determined here pretty soon. I know she's kind of excited about her trip, and so she's not going to be as focused as wanting to go on Oklahoma to live stream with me, but we'll see. And then on June 23rd, Our Themed Life, myself, are going to do an interview with a Major League Baseball player I grew up with that played for the Braves and was on their World Series team when they won that year. So I thought that Mike would be a good person to come on and to ask him questions because he's such a Braves fan. T-Town Mag is in the house. Hey, T-Town Mag. Who is that? Oh, is that Katie? That T-Town Camag is my sister Katie. Now we need is T-Town Tom, and that would be my brother. We're all T-Town. So his name is Charlie O'Brien, and he's actually the one who has done the patent on the catcher's masks that they wear these days, the hockey style catcher's masks, and he has a book. And so we're going to just talk about his patent and his days in Major League Baseball and the World Series team, and and talk about his book. And so that's what Mike from Our Themed Life and myself are going to do June 23rd. And I'll post it on the live place as soon as we get a time. That's still up in the air, but we've been working on this for a little while. So finally it's going to happen June 23rd. T-Town crew. Good day. Siblings, Lil Oz Lorel, works hard for MK3, Road Trip Dave, Thanks, Dave. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, everybody. Um, these my siblings, everyone that's in chat now, are some of my favorite people on YouTube. They're very awesome, and they're all in different places, but I follow them all, and they're very cool. So if you're going to really do YouTube, make sure you subscribe to all of those peeps and check them out, because they're all different and all do different things, but we're all Disney related. But anyway, it works hard. You know, you're my favorite. You're so Tiana like, you know, you're the best. So that's exciting. I know that I'm kind of diversifying into different places, going to live streams with Leanne around Oklahoma, and then interviewing a baseball player. You know, but it just is what it is. I just want to do things that maybe somebody would be interested in seeing. So I know I know Mike's excited. He's got some questions planned. So I hope to see you all in those streams in the near future in June. Hey, Mark. And Mark Way Up. Everybody catch Mark Way Up. He does some stunts in the snow. You can go back and catch those where he falls into a snowdrift and almost gets himself in huge trouble. It was like seriously watching a movie and you didn't know how it was going to end. And I was hoping it would end well, but you knew it had to because he edited it and put it on YouTube. But it was exciting, and Works Hard had seen it, so she knew what I was talking about. Yes, Mark Way Up is in the house. So sorry, I keep looking down, but I'm trying to look at chat. So I guess everybody, that's nice of you to take a little break from watching Resort TV1 and Disneyland at Galaxy's Edge. I know that I've been watching it, and Josh got real competitive on the Millennium Falcon ride. I don't remember what it's called, and he. As I was getting off to get ready for this, he was getting on a second time because he was upset with himself for not getting a good score. And it was only his first time to get on, so he's very competitive, I would say. Yeah, Mark, you're not a Star Wars fan. Well, that's okay. Smuggler's Run. Thank you, Dave. He got on Smuggler's Run, and you know, surprisingly enough, for just opening, there aren't that many people there. It on a ride that should take like an hour or two, he got on in 20 minutes. So I guess they're doing it in shifts. They're still doing it in time slots, where I saw somebody ask him if they're going to do that in Florida, and he said no, that it was a first come first serve in Florida, so you can't reserve time slots, and it would make it much easier because it wouldn't be as crowded. But Florida does it different than California. Dave, Mark saw the first movie in 1978 and then 1980, and then I grew up. Mark, I'm still like, love Star Wars. Star Wars and Harry Potter are like my two faves, and I could watch it all the time. Yes, you need reservations, which if you're watching their stream, the reservations is a great idea because they're going everywhere real easily and not having to wait in line for anything. Now, will that change? I don't know, but I think Florida should do the same thing. But maybe they have way more people there. I don't know, but I I think it's a good idea. But who am I? See, Works Hard loves Harry Potter. Mark, do you like Harry Potter? Dave said they're doing it in a time slot reservations. Walt Disney World is going to be insane. I know. I think that's a shame that it's going to be insane because I, for one, don't want to go in there right away because it will be insane. Just like when they did Toy Story Land. I mean, we got there, my son and I went, and it was probably 3 months after they opened, maybe 4. And it was still so crowded, we could never even get on a ride. We tried to get fast passes, and you couldn't get one. And this time for standing in line was like an hour and a half. And there's no way I was going to stand in the heat for an hour and a half for a 2-second ride. So we would walk in, we'd walk out, we'd eat, and just mosey around. But no, I don't even know if you still can get on. You probably will once Galaxy's Edge opens, but it's a tough one. Hey, Dawn, how are you? Thank you for joining. I was just showing everyone what little Lorel gave me from Australia, and it's a Disney. It's a Disney game. Well, it's a promotion that they had in Australia at their Woolworths, where you would buy stuff and then you would get these little letters, but on the other side are Disney characters, and you collect them. And so she did 2 of them, and she gave me one and sent it to me. And she completed one and almost completed mine. Mark said that he might do the crowds for Marvel Land. When is that going to be? You know, are they going to build? I mean, that's the rumor, but well, whatever they get around to calling it, it was Bugs Land. Marvel Land. Road Trip Dave, I'm going to be at Walt Disney World in September for the Experience Workshop Conference at Coronado Springs. I'm actually going to skip Hollywood Studios because it will be insane. I know. Leanne's going to be there too, and she's talking about not even going near it. Now, this would be the time to go on Soarin', or like I said, you know, maybe go into Toy Story Land and hop on a ride that I could never get on almost 9 months ago. Works hard. Are there any more Woolworths in the States? I don't know. I had asked that question once too. I don't know. Does anybody know if there's any Woolworths left in the United States? Dawn, I'm glad I happened to see you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that you came in. Mark, I hear Marvel Land isn't until 2021. Okay. Like they're going to start building it in 2021, or it's going to go up. There's no way they could build that in 2 years. Yes, everybody say hi to Dawn. Well, I don't know, but it's sure exciting. That land, at least in Disneyland, Galaxy's Edge, is so immersive. It's like you turn a corner and you could be looking at stuff for like 10 minutes and not see everything, and just feel everything. And their characters are walking around. That I wish that Disney World would go back to that, where the characters are walking around and you can, you know, take your picture with them or see them and watch them interact and all that other stuff, because they do that in Disneyland still, but they don't do that at Disney World. Are you still in here, Lorel? Hey, Dave or Mark, do you know if they still have Woolworths or Dawn in the United States, or have they all gone away? I know in Tulsa they don't, maybe even in the whole state of Oklahoma. Once upon a time they did, but I don't think they do anymore. Mark way up. When I first went to Disneyland, you had to follow a character around for hours to get a pic, and then you shared them with 3 other families. That's true. That's true, Mark. That's the only other issue about having the characters walk around is trying to get a picture with them or even sign your autograph book. And maybe that's why they did away with it. But when I was watching them, doing it in Disneyland, they would walk around, but then they would kind of go off into a spot, but then the cast members have to be like crowd control and make sure that nobody, pushes and shoves and gets in the way. But it just seemed really orderly. But I don't know. And maybe Disney World's just too big to try that still. Too many people. Road Trip Dave, the characters don't walk around anymore because 1,000 kids will be trying to get their autograph. I know, but I didn't witness that in Disneyland. It just seemed really, and maybe it was because they had so few people that they let in because of the reservations. But I thought it was interesting that it just seemed orderly. And then, like, Kylo Ren would interact with somebody, and then he'd go. He wouldn't stick around in one place very long. He was acting. He was doing his role, and he would go from person to person to person and just kind of interact with you, but then kept walking. So there's no way anybody could get an autograph or a picture. But Mark, not sure about Woolworths. Haven't seen one over on this side of the planet. No, I think it's interesting that Australia has Woolworths, but we don't. I don't know. No Woolworths in the Carolinas that I know. See, Dawn, I don't think we have any open for business. There's one in Greensboro, but of course it's a historic site. But I don't think we have any more. Don't quote me on that, though. I don't think that there is. And maybe some dinky little small town somewhere there might be, but I mean that's 3 different states right there. That 4 different states, 3 different states that don't have one. Mark, when we took granddaughter, loved how she got to see multiple characters for one time in line. Yes, more bang for your buck, to be able to stand in line. And I just remember back in the day, though, when they would have the bus that goes around the countries at Epcot, and it would be full of characters, and then they would jump off and they would perform, and they would, kind of interact, but then they jump back on and then they go on. And then you could meet them and meet and greet spots to get autographs and pictures, but they don't even do that anymore. You have to literally go to a spot and get an autograph or a picture. So I don't know. Oh, Lorel said, I think health issues with costumes. That's another, you're right. I mean, standing out in the sun in some of those costumes, I honestly don't know how they do it even in an air conditioned room. Some of those costumes are really heavy, I would think. Mark Way Up, of course, we were in line for 40 minutes. Then when when it was our turn, they would have to take a break. That would be my luck. It'd be like, oh, we're here. Oh, no, we got to take a break. Oh, hey, Timothy Rainwaters, thank you for joining in. I was showing everyone what little Oz Lorel sent me from Australia. It's a promotion that they did at Woolworths. Okay, now you get to tell us that they have a Woolworths in your state anymore. And you would buy something and you would collect these pieces, and on the other side of Disney characters, and you collect them. And she saved up enough for 2, and she sent me one of them. Isn't that nice? It is so awesome. Mark says, in the old days, you had to be willing to push people out of the way and take bruises to catch character. I know. And I wasn't one of those people. I'd be like, okay, you go ahead. We would wait forever because I'm not going to push somebody out of the way. That is anti-Disney. That is not how Disney people act, is pushing people out of the way to see a character. So I just wasn't into that. So my kids would be like, oh, we don't get to see that character. Dave said characters used to walk around Walt Disney World. Get this, one time Pluto was with this group of kids and literally jumped into the contemporary pool and swam with us. What? Pluto jumped into the pool with the kids. How could he have done that and not like drooped off or something fall off? That is crazy. That is crazy cool. But wow. Mark, I want to hear you say wool. I can't. That's why Woolworths. Three times really fast. I need some real entertainment today. It's really cheap entertainment, Mark. Woolworths. Hey, I did it. Not real good, but I did it. Um, um, just out about. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I never have heard of a character getting wet. I thought that they had to stay, like totally prim and proper in character, and that would be character though for a dog to jump in a pool. But uh, in an expensive Disney World costume, I wonder what that would look like once they got it off. Um, I try my best, Mark. I'm glad that I was able to do that for you and make your day. Um, Mark said, "I bet that Pluto sunk right to the bottom, didn't he, Dave?" Oh, Lorel has to go. Hope that all have a great night. From Oz, so funny to hear you say It's not an easy word to say. Too many W's. Woolworths. Thank you so much again, Lorel, for the gift. And I will return the favor someday. I want to get something cool to send to you. But this was so awesome. And I will message you in a couple of days to see how things are going with you. Um, and have a good rest of your day. It's Tuesday in Australia, so let's see, it's like 12:30 in Australia. I was Piggly Wiggly, sweat like a. No way, Timothy, you were Piggly Wiggly? I didn't even know that they let people dress up like Piggly Wiggly. That's funny. No, thank you, Lorel. That's so sweet. I'm gonna I'm gonna be showing this to everyone. Maybe Walgreens should do this for us. Nobody does promotions like this in the United States. McDonald's, only does the Happy Meals and that's about it. And what do? They do Monopoly. Well, this is way better than Monopoly. It could be for all ages. Oh my gosh, that is just hilarious, Timothy. I can't imagine you being Piggly Wiggly. I guess you can't talk either, can you? You have to stay in character, and Piggly Wiggly doesn't talk. Mark says, Piggly Wiggly, cool. Never seen him in the park. Barely ever get to see Donald Duck. But though, back in the day, I used to always see Donald Duck. Not Daisy, but Donald Duck in Epcot. I mean, he would be dressed in the like the astronaut space costume, or well, I guess he still is in Mexico. Donald is. I've seen him with the sombrero on, but you don't get to see it. You don't get to see the Fab Five hardly at all together for sure. But you have to go off to their designated spaces. James from All Central Florida was going live the other day, about a week ago, and he was on TTA, and it got stuck right where they were doing Tron. And so he was getting picture after picture and had the camera right on Tron, and it's really coming along. I mean, and then he went live yesterday and he said that it's really gotten even further along, just from a week. So that's probably going to be coming up pretty soon. Bye, Works Hard. Thank you so much for popping in. Big kisses from Oklahoma. Mark said, back in the day, we only saw Donald in the parades. Right, right, right. And now I only see him in Mexico. Road Trip Dave. Daisy constantly gets forgotten. Donald could never hang around his girl. I know. How sad is that? But honestly, do you ever, well, not ever, but rarely see Minnie and Mickey together even? I mean, maybe at the character meals and stuff, but um, you don't really even see the, I don't know. Since I can't walk around anymore and my kids are grown, I don't go into the meet and greets as much. I do with Chewbacca. Yeah, I do. Uh, Timothy Rainwaters, my father-in-law owned the Piggly Wiggly in Russellville, so of course I got roped into the way. Literally a father-in-law deal, or son-in-law deal. Okay, you have to be Piggly Wiggly. Wow, you drew the short straw. But I'm sure the kids enjoyed it. Mark way up. That is so cool that Disney World people get to see the seven dwarfs in the park. Yeah, no, that I at the Halloween party, my son and I went in to go get our picture taken with the seven dwarfs, and that blew me away to see all seven of them sitting there in one place. I'll never forget that because I don't know if they'll do it forever or what, but that was very cool. Yeah, bye. Works hard. You may see Minnie and Mickey together during shows. Exactly. The stage in front of the castle, I've seen them out there, but I you remember when they used to have Toontown and Mickey would have his house and Minnie would have her house and you'd go in and get your picture taken? That was about as close as I ever saw them together, besides the shows. Yes, yes. Me too, Dawn. I still we never even, we didn't stay. I have to say that we didn't stay because the line was so long. But just seeing them on stage together, and we had meant to go back to get our picture taken, but we didn't. But just to see all seven of them sitting there was amazing. Mark, we went 2 different times to Disneyland last year and never got to see Mary Poppins once. I've run into Mary Poppins a couple of times in England at Epcot, uh, just by chance. She was out getting her, her photo ops in the back of whatever that tea shop or whatever, and so the lines were always so long. But I mean, she's all in white, so you walk by and I mean, you can't miss her. That's one character that I really want to get my picture taken with, Mary Poppins. Um, Road Trip Dave, love that little known fact about Timothy McWaters. I know, you're never going to live that down, Timothy, that you're Piggly Wiggly. I'm going to bring it up in chat probably pretty often. Mary, great stream. You're doing great. You'll have a good night. Oh, bye, Dave. Thank you for coming in. I'm not going to stay on much longer myself. I just want to pop in and thank Little Oz Lorel for the gift and show you guys and tell you about my future live streams. Mark, must be hard for Disney to find that many short people in one place. Not a racist thing. Okay, you're talking to a short person, so that's kind of humbling. I would be so honored to be a dwarf. I was a munchkin once in a Wizard of Oz play. I was the munchkin mom because I had to take care of all the little kids, and so I was so short that I kind of fit in with them. Mark way up. I saw her once a few years ago and started running to see her, and the cast members tackled me because they thought I was going to hurt her. Oh no way. You're making that up, Mark. That's hilarious. I wish I could have seen that. Um, uh, not men of No, no, I know. Uh, well, one day I'll have to pull out the photo and show you my me as the Munchkin mom. I mean, I'm short. I'm not like below 5 foot, but I'm still, hovering around that mark. We had a play too, and I was Munchkin. See, Dawn was a Munchkin. See, so are you short, Dawn? Or they just had you be a Munchkin because it was buried heights and they didn't have a height requirement? Oh, Mark grew up with a crush on Mary Poppins. That's a nice little known fact. I mean, she is just practically perfect in every way. That little Mary Poppins. I'll have to unearth it, Mark. Maybe on my next live stream, I'll bring that out. See, Dawn, that's about my height. I'm a little shorter than 5'2". I think once upon a time I was 5'1 3/4", and I've gone down a little bit because of degenerative discs in my back. But yeah, I hover around that mark too. She doesn't look short in her videos. I know she doesn't. Dawn, you look tall in your videos. So I didn't know that you were short like me. Oh, Mary Poppins accent did something for you. That's sweet. Is that why is that why you married your wife? Because she has that accent, that German accent? I mean, maybe you have a thing for accents. I don't know. Doris and her accent, Mary Poppins and her accent. I see it. I see a trend here, Mark. I think you like women with accents. I've got an Oklahoma accent. Everybody's got an accent of some sort. Mary Poppins was one of the first Disney movies I saw in the 60s, and I was hooked from then on. I can see that. I can see why. She was in control and she could do tricks. Who wouldn't like Mary Poppins? That's why I'm married to a German woman. See? Exactly. That's what I thought. Doris in her German accent, Mary Poppins with a British accent. And Lorel, if Lorel would have come on here live, you would have heard her Australian accent. You would have liked her really well, Mark. Oh my gosh. Okay, thanks, Dawn. I'm gonna get off too. I thank you too. Thank you so much for coming. And I just wanted to show everybody again what little Oz Lorel sent me in the mail, and say hi to everyone in chat because it's been a while since I've been on. Catch our stream, Leanne and I, Sooner Girl, probably in a couple of weeks, I hope, somewhere in Oklahoma. And then on June 23rd, my friend Charlie O'Brien and Mike from Our Theme Life, we're going to do a collab live stream with him, and talk about Braves baseball and baseball in general, and his experience in major leagues. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. How are the floods down that way? They have started letting less water out of the dams, and so the water is receding and people are getting back into their homes to clean out, and that's going to be the hard part. And now we're going through, they said, another 2 weeks of rain, but it's not going to be, we don't think, the same flooding rain as we had a couple of weeks ago. And so it shouldn't get to the levels where they were. It's just now a matter of getting people back into their homes and cleaning up from all of the water that has gotten into their homes, and a lot of people have gotten hit by tornadoes too. It really has been a very unusual spring. Last couple of springs we haven't had any tornadoes, and this year it's been I've never seen it like this in my lifetime. This many tornadoes and flooding that we've had this spring. But I heard Pence and his wife are coming tomorrow to come look at all the damage and stuff. So I don't know. I feel sorry for those people who have been flooded, and fortunately, my family or no one that I know has had that problem. But my heart goes out to them. Yeah, I'm glad too, Mark. You see that's why I'm living up here in the mountains. I don't like the flat places. I know. We take it in stride, just like Californians do with earthquakes and people in other parts of the country who have weather and other issues. But this year has just been, they've kind of just like, they weren't forecast or whatever, or they were forecast, but you just don't know where they're going to pop up. And one night the sirens went off, I'm not lying, for a full half an hour, and you're watching TV just to see where they're going, to see if you need to take cover or not. Now technically you should take cover when the sirens go off, but we Oklahomans either go out to watch it, or or you watch TV just to see what area it is, so that you know whether you have to take cover or not. I mean, and they weren't like F4s or F5s. They were F1s and 2s, zeros. So yeah, it could do some damage, but it's not going to blow your whole house away. If it ever got to an F5 status, I'd be next door in the neighbor's tornado shelter, because that can wipe your whole house away. But anyway, though I digress. Um, Thank you, Mark. Mark said prayers to all of them. He said, we don't get floods, just 10 feet of snow, but I still would rather die in an avalanche than in a tornado or flood. Yeah, okay. It's just what you know in your area. So I don't want to die in either of those, tornado, flood, or avalanche. So but you would know more about the snow, Mark, because you're the pro at it. My hat's off to you. Okay, so I want to see these guys with video cameras heading outside. I asked the weather guy. He went to school with my daughter, and for years I've asked him if I could go storm chasing with him, and for years we've talked about it off and on. And this year, since it was so active, I said, I really want to go. And he is on TV, so he usually has to stay in the studio now. But he said he would call me if he gets a chance to go storm chasing and I get to go with him. That's kind of on my bucket list. I want to go storm chasing, though, for tornadoes with somebody who knows what they're doing. I don't want to go do that by myself. I want to go with somebody who knows what they're doing. So he promises me one day he's going to take me with him. And that will complete something off my bucket list. Hi, Leanne. I was just talking to everybody that my future live streams, that you and I were going to go somewhere in Oklahoma in the next couple of weeks. That we've been talking about different places, but I hope that, hey, it's the Jeep Jabbers. Leanne's the best Jeep Jabber, and everybody go subscribe to Leanne Sooner Girl. And F-15 has gone over my house because I'm not that far from Fort Campbell. Wow, that's way higher than an F5. That would blow your house away. You should hear what she has been saying about it. Leanne, it's all been the best. You know that. You and I are a duo. So don't listen to Mark. He just likes to hear me say Woolworths. Oh, this is what I got, Leanne, from Little Oz Lorel. When they do their promotions in Australia at Woolworths, you buy stuff and you get these Scrabble pieces, and on the other side are Disney characters. And she collected 2 of them and sent me one, and she completed hers. There's 2 missing from mine, but isn't that cool? I mean, we've been talking if there's been a Woolworths around here. Want to see the dynamic Southern duo live together again soon. Yeah, Leanne. It's up to her because she's busier than I am. And I know that you're really excited about your trip. And I said, you know, you're not going to want to do this much longer because you're going to be leaving in August. So, and we were also talking that you probably won't be going to Galaxy's Edge because it's just going to be too crowded when you get there, like opening day. I know, isn't that cool? I wish that they would do promotions like that here. Well, anyway, sorry, Leanne. I'm was getting ready to sign off, but then Mark brought up the flooding, so I was kind of explaining all that to him. And we kind of got on a tangent and went off in different directions, but that's what getting on and chatting is all about. Mark, way up. I think there's still a Woolworths in Nashville. Oh, okay. So maybe there are a few still left in the United States. There goes the dinner bell, and if it rings twice, I don't get to eat. So I have to go. Okay, Mark, I really am signing off too. I want to thank you all for joining me and chatting and seeing my present from Little Oz Lorel, and Leanne and I are going to go live somewhere in Oklahoma, hopefully in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, soon. And we will post it on the live place as well as my interview with Mike from our theme live with Charlie O'Brien. And I'll let Dean know the specifics, and you guys can come in if you want. So remember, if you have the choice, choose kindness. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining.